few months ago, I bought a budget VW Caddy for 350 quid. Once the van was delivered, I did some minor repairs and got this thing running, and she was ripping as a normal Caddy, but I had bigger plans. So I went out and I bought a category B VW Golf R, and this happened. That's good, I've heard noise. Okay, there is signs of life. When I started the engine for the first time, it sounded like absolute crap. So boys, that's not a good sign. It sounds really, really rough. And it only got worse. Once I jacked the car up, this is what I saw. Unknowingly, I ran this engine with no oil sump and no oil present in the engine. So I got myself a borescope and I wanted to check for any damage, which I did, and luckily there was no major damage found. So I fitted a new oil pickup and I continued to strip the remaining parts from the donor Golf R before commencing work on building a CADDY R. I removed 90% of the Caddy components. I had to do tons of fab work and I began fitting all the Golf R components. I ran into a major issue where the Golf R steering rack wouldn't fit the Caddy subframe, and this is how I overcame that, and before I knew it, she was a rolling shell. In went the 2-litre TSI engine, and then it was time for the first start, and I was just so gassed to finally have a driving CADDY R in its beginning phases. So at this stage of the build, we've got the engine completely fitted. I swapped it from manual to auto DSG. We've got Caddy suspension on the front only, and I swapped out the door mechanisms from the Golf R to the Caddy doors, which needed a little bit of fab. However, it all came together really nicely. I upgraded the interior from Caddy to Golf R spec, fitted the GPS antenna from the Golf R before retrofitting the rain light sensor. Once that was all done, I created this hybrid rear bumper, and this thing was actually ripping. But this is where I started to find major faults popping up. In first and second gear, the DSG gearbox is functioning properly, but after second gear, I'm getting a gearbox fault. Once connected to the diagnostics, the DSG gearbox doesn't know how fast the car is going, and that's because I'm still running a Caddy rear suspension, and the ABS sensors from the Golf R are not compatible. So, in this episode, we're gonna change that. Yes boys, we are back on the Caddy build. You've just heard all of that, and I know a lot of you guys have been in the comments asking what's going on with the Caddy, and all I can say is I'm frustrated, I'm fed up, and a bit of an explanation as to why it's taken this long. Before I bought the Caddy, before I took on this build, I made arrangements with certain people, and you call people's phones, no one's answering the phone, and the van's just been sat, literally. But I want to give a massive shout out and a massive thank you to you boys. You guys in the comments, in the DMs, I've had so many of you reach out offering information, offering ways to overcome said problem that you heard about earlier. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. We need to do tons of fab work, and I want to try to get the rear suspension from the Golf R into the Caddy so that I can fit the ABS sensors, and in that way the DSG gearbox can know how fast the car is going, and it will change gear, and then I won't be getting into limp mode anymore. So with that out of the way, let's roll on the video. So boys, in previous episodes I fitted the Golf R dash, Golf R center console, seats, and then in the final episode before I stopped posting, I was gonna make custom door cards, but thanks to one of my subscribers, I was wasting time. Apparently the Mark IV Caddy is just a straight swap, and I can use the existing door loom. If you don't know, I've swapped the door looms from the Caddy to the Golf R, so apparently the Mark IV Caddy door cards should be a straight swap. It may need some repinning, but I'm gonna get a set of Mark IV door cards, and then I can retrofit the ambient lighting later on. I had plans to try to fabricate the Golf R folding mirrors, but once again, I'm not wasting any more time. I'm gonna get rid of these, and I'll just get the Caddy Life version, get them on the van, and they should work. I've actually got one of my subscribers, he showed me his, and his is working with the Golf Loom. Now, upstairs in storage, I have got the rear tailgate from the Golf R. My plan is to remove these barn doors and I want to replace it with a tailgate, and I'm going to try to retrofit the switch from the Golf R. Like, I've just got so many plans, I just need to action it, and that's the plan. So we're getting started now. Let's remove all of the junk from the trunk, and we're gonna go ahead. I need to start to remove all the spot welds for the floor of the rear boot, and we're gonna be gutting out this floor. I've got a rare LED light for a Mark 7.5 Golf R, if anyone's interested. And now, these are gonna be for sale. These are a set of power folding mirrors with the floodlights from a Golf R. So it's out with the old Caddy mirrors and on with the power folding Caddy Life versions. Ryan, if you're watching this, bro, massive thank you. Have a look at this. So my subscriber explained to me what I needed to do to repin the Caddy Life mirrors to work with the module from the Golf R, and as you can see, they're fully working. A few days later, the Mark IV door cards have arrived, and as you can see, they're quite similar to the Golf R door cards, and yeah, they're straight swap and it looks very clean. And I swapped over the switch from the Golf and everything's fully functional. Just to note, on the driver's side, I made a template with the Golf R door card, cut that out, and as you can see, the window switch from the Golf R has popped in, no issue. Now I can actually start working on the real issue. I need to remove the floor pan from the Caddy and fit in the complete floor from the Golf R. This is going to give me the mounting points for the rear suspension, mounting points for the fuel tank, and also it's going to give me rear seats. So I should be able to turn this thing into a crew cab Caddy R. Now there's another subscriber, Steve, if you're watching this, thank you. He sent me some pictures on what I needed to do to complete this task. So I'm using a belt sander. I need to sand through all these tiny little spot welds that are scattered throughout, and then this floor pan should just be able to be lifted out. Boys, there's a ton of work, and I'm going through these belts at a high rate of pace, and these are expensive. They're all DeWalt belts as well for the DeWalt belt sander. I can't keep that up. So I made a phone call to one of my mates, and I've just checked the CCTV. He's outside. Gaza! With the M3.
Yeah, new wheels.
I was just saying, I was going through them belts so quick. I thought, let me call you. I know, it's the chaos. I work well in the chaos.
Those ones you're on about, yeah?
Yep. So I've got some new belts. Thank you, Gaz. Chuck them in there.
And some new drill bits.
And these are the ones.
Spot drills.
So these are the ones for the spot welds. So, brand new. Oh yes, spot on, that's exactly what I need. So this should make light work of getting this entire floor out here. Once the floor is out, I'll let you guys know exactly what I need to do, because it's interesting. Who's calling me now? Oh. So now that I've got the correct tools, these drill bits are just going through the spot welds. After all, that's what they're made for, and they're making light of this job. Alright boys, so it's the next morning. I stayed really late. It was not an easy job, it was super hard. We got the floor from the Caddy removed, and I'm gonna show you why I removed it later on. That's it for the Caddy for now. I'm gonna put the fuel tank back in, drive it outside, or push it outside, one of them, but it needs to go. And that's because I've got half a Golf sitting right here. It's been here for the longest while. Now, if you remember, to do this build, I bought a category B Golf R. So I need to do exactly the same thing that I did with the Caddy, but to this section. And if all goes to plan, I should be able to retain my rear seats, but more importantly, it's gonna give me the mounting points for the rear suspension from the Golf R, which means that I can fit the rear diff and those all-important ABS sensors and actually get this thing ripping. 4Motion, 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, Caddy R. It's crazy. Let's move on to the next part of the video. Hopefully, after this video, I don't need to do this crap no more, because this is going to be in the correct position. No! right? In a caddy. So with this offcut of a Golf R, it's time to trim it down. I've got too much weight, I don't need it all, so I'm removing the seats, but I'm holding on to them because I will be fitting them to the van once completed. Now it's time to cut, and cut some more. Now I've got a friend of mine giving me a hand with some cutting, so whilst he's cracking on with that, I'm getting rid of the old leaf spring system from the Caddy. This is the last time you're gonna see it on this van. Alright you guys, so after the first rough cut, this is what we're left with. And now it's time to just refine this piece a little bit more. There's tons more spot welds I need to drill out, and I'll be just shaving little bits off until I get it to the correct measurements. Before we went ahead and cut everything down, we measured exactly what we need and what we don't need. So I've got that all written down. So it's time to go ahead. But I just wanted to say, right, I've been doing this a while now, but sometimes I still doubt my own ability, and I have paused this build for months, depending on other people, waiting on other people, because I kept saying I don't want to mess it up, don't want to like make a mistake. But you know what, boys, when you're building cars and having fun, like mistakes is part of it. And as you can see, I've decided to crack on with it. I'm feeling more and more confident as I go. And once again, thank you to the subscribers who got in touch. Like they didn't have to, but they took time out of their day to send me information, send me pictures, and push me along the way on this build, and we are getting it done. We're keeping it moving. And speaking of keeping it moving, I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna get back to work. So let's go. So with the old Caddy leaf suspension removed, this is what we're left with. And all of this has got to go into there. And just to add, I will be retrofitting the wheel arches so that I can maintain the mounting points for the Golf R shock absorbers. So here I'm drilling out the spot welds for the inner skin and outer skin, which are attached to the wheel arches. I need to make a clean mating surface because later on in this build, this is where I'm going to be welding in these wheel arches to the back of the Caddy van, so I need this to be as clean as possible. Now if you look at these little lips, these need to go. I need both sides of this offcut to be as smooth as possible. Once again, this is going to be the mating surface between this piece and the internals of the Caddy. After doing quite a lot of trimming and cleaning up, this is what we're left with. I'm very happy with the edges, and as you can see, I went ahead and removed both wheel arches, but they'll be welded back into place later on, and I'll explain the reason for this as I'm doing it. This thing is tidied up, so now it's time to leave this and jump back onto the Caddy because we need to tidy up a few bits on that before mating the two. So it's just gone 11 p.m. and that's the first major cut of the chassis rails on the Caddy. Now I'm making room. I need to make enough room so that the entire floor from the Golf R can fit into this gap. And according to our measurements, we needed to make that cut, and we also need to do the same thing on the other side. However, I've just broken my last blade, and seeing that it's late, I'm gonna pack up, I'm gonna come back in the morning, continue to cut, and hopefully we should be able to offer up the new Golf R floor into the Caddy. I wanna offer up the exhaust and just see how it's gonna look with the new CADDY R bumper, and we'll be diving into all of that in the morning. It's the following morning, but in this game, things never go to plan. I got a phone call overnight from one of my friends and he told me to come down, he's got something for me. So we are off. I'm driving 2 hours all the way to Milton Keynes because we're going to be doing some shopping for the Caddy. You've all seen the parts car that I picked up for the Caddy build. I got all the major components and they were all good. However, the dashboard, driver airbag, seat belts, and a ton of other miscellaneous parts were too badly damaged to use. And I've got a friend, he used to be in London, he's got a massive VW and Audi parts store. So I gave him a call, I asked him what he's got, and he told me, bro, I got you, just come down. And I'm excited to see what he's got because, anyway, you guys are gonna see. Now, before I go, I just wanna say, boys, I lost all motivation for this build. You know, when things are just taking ages, being let down by different people, just things not getting my way with this build. I lost all my motivation to do it. And I was just like, F it. The subscribers and the community that we've built, I cherish it, because everyone was getting onto me. D, what's going on? Where's the caddy? Where's the caddy? And a few of them even DM'd me and said, bro, look, this is what you have motivated me to do. You have motivated me to go out and get a caddy. Someone messaged me and said, D, you motivated me to pull my engine out of my own caddy after it was blown. And it's just the little things like that. So I just wanted to say, boys, it really helps. Like 2025 has been a massive year, difficult year for various reasons, personal and professionally. But when you guys are there cheering me on and pushing me and giving me encouragement, I just want you guys to know that it actually makes a difference. It makes a difference. I'm just a simple guy trying a simple thing. Speaking of which, 70% of you who watch my content day in, day out, I could see it in the analytics, you're not subscribed. Help me out. I'm chasing 100,000 subscribers. Let's get Salvage Nation on the map. Pause the video now, press subscribe. It will really, really help me out. Anyway, I've got a 2-hour drive. I'll catch up with you once I make it, and you'll see why I'm so excited. It's fake drives, come on! I'm down to see my friend H. If you remember, he's helped me out with so many builds, long-term channel sponsors. If you need any VAG parts, so if you've got a German car, get in touch. But check this out, look, you've got doors everywhere. This is a new breakers yard that he's got. So he's moved down from Northumberland Park and he's all the way down in Milton Keynes. However, it's an online shop as well. So if you need any parts, I'll link all his information down below. All you need to do is check it out and he can post you out your parts. But come, let's go inside. I'm here for Mark 7 dash, driver side airbag. I need a radar because my one from the donor car was missing. I need some bits of loom to fix that radar. There's tons of parts here, and I thought, instead of going on eBay and searching individually, why not just come down, see my mate H, haven't seen him in a while, and just get everything in one massive sweep. So he's in the back, digging out some parts for me. Let's explore. Boys, have a look at all of these. You need a drive shaft, he's got it for every type of vehicle. Power steering racks on that rack there. See, no puns intended. Plastic pipes, AC pipes, different types of charge pipes. Man, you've got suspension legs, corners, whatever you need. Rear lights, headlights over there, front lights. Just look at this, right? It's not even a shelf for dashboards. There's a room for dashboards. There's a dashboard room. So somewhere in this room is a dashboard for a Mark 7 Golf that I need to find. Where do I start, H? You got too many. Yeah, boys, I'm a bit overwhelmed. There's a lot, but let's go see what he's dug out for me. Yep. On the donor car, the steering control buttons were damaged, so I wanted to get a new steering wheel, and as you can see, right on the top, they're all Mark 7 steering wheels. But H just asked me exactly what the problem was. I said, yeah, steering wheel's fine, the buttons. And that's why I've come down, like, he's got everything. He said, bro, you don't need a whole steering wheel, just take these buttons. So we've got some buttons, let's continue. This has been a very successful trip. He's still unboxing, this is all new. So the driver side airbag will be posted out later on, and I will be retrofitting the Mark 7 seat belts. At the moment, I'm running the Caddy seat belts, but because I've changed the entire loom, I've got 2 plugs for the seat belts, and I want this to be a true Caddy R. Happily take my money. See, boys, come down, grab your parts, pay by card, get out. Cheers, brother. All major credit cards accepted, cash, bank transfer, the lot. It is what it is, isn't it? Don't forget, man, all German group. All their information is going to be in the description down below. You can come over here and collect, or they can post out to you. They've got everything you can possibly need for VAG group and all German cars. So check them out. I'll stick all their details down below. Massive thank you to them. It's time to get out of here, man. Boys, I didn't want to say it inside. The price that I've just paid for a dash, seat belts, driver's airbag, front radar, plus all the wires, connectors, everything that I could need. Ridiculously cheap. Let's play a game. Let me know in the comments, how much would you pay? Or how much do you think I paid for all of those bits? I guarantee no one will get it. No one will get it correct. I will be honest and I'll respond in the comments. So guys, it's the next day. I've only just made it to the garage and it's 4 p.m. I actually had a funeral today and I'm not really in the mood to be working on the Caddy and etc, etc. Tomorrow morning I fly out to Barbados for part 2 on my holiday builds. I've got major updates on the Porsche Cayenne Turbo S, the abandoned T-Roc. I might have a key. Stay tuned to see how I get on over in Barbados. It's going to be epic. I've got some serious content planned. So actually, you know what? Here's a little preview of what's coming up of me in Barbados for part 2. Boys, we just landed. We're rolling deep. Brand new. I got completely ripped off. I got scammed. But we're gonna have to continue this build once I'm back in a couple of weeks. I'll continue to cut out the rear boot of the Caddy. We'll be offering up the rear boot from the Golf R, and hopefully I don't mess it up and I can get the rear suspension, subframe, the entire lot, rear diff. There's still a lot of fabrication that I need to do to get everything to work. I need to drop the engine again because I found that I made a mistake up there. So stay tuned for the next episode to see how I get on with all of that, and to make sure you're not missing out, press the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications, because 75% of you guys who are watching right now watch my content on a regular basis, but you're not subscribed. Come on, help me out. I'm trying to make it to 100,000 subscribers and I can't get there without you. So pause the video right now, click subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, hype the video, like the video, whatever you can do to help Salvage Nation get to the top of the map. But on that note, this is where I'm gonna head off. I need to go home and pack, and I'll see you guys once I'm back from Barbados, and stay tuned for the Barbados vlog part 2. So like I always say, keep it moving, and I'll see you boys in the next one.